Amazing to see you all. My name is Blake Rasmussen. I'm going to be one of your co-hosts today. I have the best job on the planet because I get to just talk to you all about magic now and then.
Hi, y'all. I'm Hillary Thompson. I'm a game producer for Magic.
Yeah.
This is my first time on this stage. I'm really nervous. I usually work with Blake behind the scenes. Think of me as kind of a bridge between what happens at Wizards and what you hear as players.
So today, you are in the right place because every year, about this time, we like to get a few thousand of our friends together and talk about what's coming up in the next year. So we are going to look at almost all of 2026. Pretty darn close. And we are going to start off with a big one. We are going to start off with a first look, including preview cards, art, story, at Lorwyn Eclipsed. Let's hear it for all the Lorwyn fans out there. Yeah. It's been a minute since we've been to Lorwyn. A lot's changed, and so we're going to learn a lot about that. But we're going to go through, again, almost the entire year. We're going to announce some sets that we have not announced before. And as a bonus, we're not quite done with Final Fantasy yet, so there's going to be a little bit at the end there for that. But first, before we get to that, we want to take a moment. 2025 really has been one of the best years of Magic ever, and we want to take a moment to celebrate that.
Absolutely. This year was incredible. Since we returned to play, millions of players, including more new players than ever before, have joined us in local game stores to gather and play Magic. And WPN stores now cover 84 countries worldwide.
Yeah.
So, like you said, 2025 might just be Magic's best year ever, but we're going to try and top it.
We are going to try. We are going to kick things off in January with Lorwyn Eclipsed. So to dive into our first look, we are going to bring to the stage Roy Graham. Come on, Roy. Woo! Welcome, Roy. All right, we're going to sit down. We're going to get cozy. Yeah, Roy. Lorwyn Eclipsed.
Hey, everybody. Are you excited about Lorwyn?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah.
Oh, man. So like they said, I'm Roy Graham. I'm the Magic story lead. I work with some really incredible fantasy authors to bring these stories to life in the free web fiction we release with every set. And I work with game design to bring those stories into the cards and see them realized in the sets themselves. People have been asking for a return to Lorwyn for a long time.
Yeah.
Almost since the plane debuted, if you can believe that, over a decade ago.
You're making me feel a little bit old, but continue on.
Something like that.
And if you're a fan of Lorwyn, if you've been waiting all this time to go back, congratulations. If you're maybe newer to the plane, if you're curious about Lorwyn, I'm very happy to be the one to bring you through it and tell you a little bit about it. Lorwyn is a whimsical plane inspired by Celtic mythology and populated by creatures as recognizable as elves and giants and things like that. And then we have some creatures that are a little less recognizable. Noggles. Any Noggles fans?
So many Noggle fans in the audience, yeah.
We got one right there.
The Noggle section right over there.
But it's more than just weirdos and dolmen gates on Lorwyn. Lorwyn is also a plane divided between two halves, light and shadow. So it's been a long time, obviously, since we went to Lorwyn. And we're bringing back some familiar faces in the story and in the card set. Let's see if you guys recognize any of them. Here, I think we can show you Sig, one of the Marrow, any minute now.
All right. There he is, Sig. All right.
I'm not a merfolk.
Yet.
Yes, Sig is one of the aquatic Marrow, Lorwyn's answer to merfolk. We also have Ashling, who is one of the Flamekin, sentient fire elementals.
Yes.
Bridget, one of the hardy and community-minded Kithkin. And though she's never gotten a card before, Her sayings have been known through flavor text to boggarts all across Lorwyn. Auntie Grub making her debut in Lorwyn Eclipsed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff. Last time we were on Lorwyn, a few of these people that we've been seeing helped stop the power-hungry fairy queen Una, who was trying to control the Aurora, a mysterious force that separated Lorwyn from its shadowy counterpart, Shadowmoor. She wanted to keep those sides separate, divided, and unknown to each other. But Una's been gone for a long time now, and that means Lorwyn's true nature is beginning to reassert itself. One of the big, very exciting new changes to the cosmology of the plane is the emergence of two vast elementals, one for night and one for day, that bring the light or darkness of Shadowmoor with them wherever they walk. And I think I get to show you some pretty cool art of one of them. There we have Erdu, the day elemental, who brings the light of Lorwyn with him wherever it walks.
Incredible. So you're mentioning that this plane has like two sides now, these two sides that are coming to life. What can you tell us about the dark side? Talk to us about Shadowmoor.
The dark side, you say? Well, do we have the... Is something happening to the lights out there?
It's looking a
I don't know.
little spookier.
Yeah,
A little darker.
Does anyone feel
let's
their
keep going.
darker parts beginning to stir within them?
Not everything is light and airy, as we see on the screen there.
Yeah, so Shadowmoor is the more twisted, shadowy half of the plane. There, the trees become gnarled and kind of spooky and grasping, and thorns emerge from the foliage, and kind of general gloom settles over the landscape. But it's not just the landscape that changes in Shadowmoor, it's also the people.
Okay.
You might be a completely different person going into Shadowmoor than you were in Lorwyn. Now, in the past, in the original Lorwyn, the whole world used to change. The Aurora would move the plane itself from Lorwyn to Shadowmoor. That's not the case in our new return to Lorwyn. Now they coexist. They live side by side, big...
In fact, I think our next piece of art shows exactly that changeover.
Oh, yeah, right there.
Yeah.
The two halves of Lorwyn and Shadowmoor, the light and the dark, coexisting, pushing right up against each other. And if you cross that barrier, if you walk into one or the other, you might not know who you are on the other side.
Now, I think we've gone long enough without a preview card.
Yep. Agreed.
Who wants the first preview card? Yeah, okay, that was good enough for now. All right, let's see our first preview card, Morning Tide's Light. All right, Roy, what's going on here?
Well, this might on the surface look familiar, right? It's just a flicker. Nothing crazy about that.
Just a mass flicker.
You're exiling a whole bunch of cards, and you're bringing them all back. But there's actually a neat little narrative thrust here as well, because when you exile a card, when you flicker it and bring it back, if it happened to be double-sided, for instance, maybe, for instance, there are two sides of a card showing some core duality of the character, a light side maybe, and a dark side, this would return it to the original side.
Oh, interesting. Now, I think it feels like we're getting a little bit into mechanics, which means I think we're going to need some help. So, Roy, why don't you go? We're going to come bring you back later. Go stand over there.
Yeah.
And, and let's bring on Mark Rosewater, head designer.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Howdy.
You're clearly the legacy here. Tell us what you did on Lorwyn Eclipsed.
So I actually had the honor of working on both the original Lorwyn and on Lorwyn Eclipsed. I think I'm the only person that was on both design teams. So I was very excited to go back. I remember working on original Lorwyn, and it was a really fun set to do originally, and it was just really exciting to go back. So
Yeah. Well, we're gonna, we started to get into mechanics.
Yes.
So I really want to.
We do have mechanics.
We do have mechanics, yes. And one of those we're gonna talk about double face cards.
Okay.
And as you start talking about that, let's pick we already saw Erdu. While you're talking about it, let's meet Isilu, carrier of Twilight. This is the art. We'll get to the card in a moment.
Okay.
But talk a little bit about double face cards in this set.
So one of the things, last time we were there, many years ago, Lorwyn and Shadowmoor didn't coexist. Either it was Lorwyn or it was Shadowmoor. And after Una and all the things that happened, it's now in a place where things are mixed. And that light and dark, shadow and light, they can intermix in ways they never could before. So if only we had a mechanic that could represent things that could go from a light side to a dark side. And luckily we do.
We do.
So double-face cards were perfect, transforming double-face cards. So you play the front side, it can transform into the back side, and then go back and forth. You're the Lorwyn version, you're the Shadowmoor version. You're the Lorwyn version, and you go back and forth.
Let's take a look at our first preview card of the light and dark sides. Tell us, this is a different way to transform, Mark, than we've seen before.
Well, I mean, the idea here is you have control in a way that you don't normally have in a lot of transforming. This is a mana cost. And then you'll notice the cards are different colors on different sides. So one of the themes you'll notice as we go through today is this is both mechanically Lorwyn and mechanically Shadowmoor. So you will see elements of Lorwyn here. You will see elements of Shadowmoor. The fact that they're different colors on back is important because Shadowmoor cares a lot about color. Lorwyn cares more about typal themes, and so you'll see that as they change between the sides, it matters. And you have the ability on these cards to pay mana to choose when you go back and forth.
Okay. Now, we didn't show you the art early on in the presentation without knowing how it was going to pay off. So let's take a look at the dark side of Sig. And of course, I mean, it's a merfolk. We love merfolk. We're going to show you both sides. Let's see the card for Sig as well. And Mark, tell us about this merfolk.
So obviously, one of the things we're doing is revisiting characters that people know from original Lorwyn. Oh, and I also want to stress, one of the things we did on the art side is we went back. There's a lot of artists you will recognize, and even some of the newer artists, there's an older style to Lorwyn. So Lorwyn and Shadowmoor, we want to capture the original look and feel. It's one of the things people loved about original Lorwyn, so we do that here. You'll also notice the back, we're playing with different kinds of frames, and the back here are, it's really fun to watch, trying to show the Lorwyn side and the Shadowmoor side. Really the set is, this has merfolk. Obviously, all the creature types you recognize from Lorwyn are back. Some are a little more focused than others, but if you like to play typal themes, we got you covered. If that's not your thing, well, half the set's all about Shadowmoor, and we got that covered as well.
I know this is going to find its way in your merfolk deck.
Absolutely.
Let's take a look at Ashling and the Shadowmoor side. Absolutely. I love how fraught this is. Can we take a look at the card now too? I want to see both sides. Oh yeah, I love how you just see her joy and her torment and that color wash mana. Talk to me about this.
Yeah, so a lot of the things we're going around is, now I should stress, the double-face cards are a small portion of the set. It's not, we actually joked what if the entire set was double-face cards? And okay, that's a horrible idea, so we didn't do that. But one of the things you'll definitely will see is they play a big role, and these are the key characters, so that the double-face cards are kind of special. Most of the set actually isn't double-face cards, but we will have a lot of, like I said, a lot of typal themes. Elementals are back, merfolk are back, Tithkin are back, all the things you recognize from original Lorwyn. And we also play in color. We haven't got to it yet, but hybrid is back, and we will see stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, we showed you 5 characters at the top. We're not going to show you all of their cards. We're going to save a little something for preview season, but we would be remiss if we didn't show you the Shadowmoor art. So let's take a look at the Shadowmoor side of Bridget.
So good.
Creepy Kitkin.
Creepy Kitkin.
Let's take a look at my favorite, Grub. So cute. And I love, too, we've got Jesper Icing back from the original Lorwyn as well for this artwork.
Yeah, speaking of original artists, we have this set is chock full of original artists, and some of that we're going to see on some cards. You know, Lorwyn is also, the set is very much a love letter to people who loved the original Lorwyn Morningtide as well. So we're going to see a lot of callbacks, like one we showed to our Black Lotus badge holders last night. Let's see Bitter Bloom Bearer.
Okay, so the story behind this, so way back, I think in Apocalypse, I made a card called Phyrexian Arena. And the idea was we had made a lot of cards where black traded life for cards. So I thought, what if it happened every turn? What if every turn you lost a life, you drew a card? So when we were making original Lorwyn, I'm like, okay, can I do that? But I wanted to make like a fairies version of it. So like, what else could you pay a life for? How about a fairy? And so it made a little 1/1 fairy, a little flying fairy. And obviously, one of the things we're trying to do, not all the cards are throwbacks, but we have some throwbacks. And so this is playing homage to Bitter Blossom, except this time it's on a fairy rather than being an enchantment.
That's not going to be the only version we see of this card either.
Right. So this is our headliner for this set.
Yeah. I absolutely love this Rebecca Gay artwork. There's only 500 versions of this card that exist. Rebecca is actually one of our artists in Art of Magic this weekend, too, so make sure you go say hi.
Yeah, it's her first time at a show in 20 years, I believe.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, get your original Bitter Blossom sign. All right, now there's more throwbacks, and this is going to be my favorite section right here. Let me hear it. Are there any Muldrifter fans in the audience? How about Shriekmaw? Yeah, Revelark, Wismare. You get where I'm going. So Lorwyn was the original set of the Evoke Elementals, and this set very much evokes that same feeling. Yep. Let's see our preview card here, Emptiness.
So the history of Evoke, so when I made Evoke originally, way back in Lorwyn, they originally would go in on spells, and you could kick them to turn them into creatures. And then the rules manager said, we can't do that. It doesn't work. So we ended up making creatures that if you pay the Evoke cost, then they go away. So Evoke was really popular. We're not going to come back and not revisit a lot of our popular things. So this obviously plays into that. We have Evoke on it. As I said earlier, Hybrid is back. Any Hybrid fans out there? So obviously, for those that are fans of original Shadowmoor, it was half hybrid. Now, this set is not half hybrid, but there is a hybrid in it. And like I said, color plays a big role in this set. So,
absolutely. Let's get some more callbacks up here. I love this little guy.
So in Lorwyn, a decent way into Lorwyn design, we were having a problem where people were drafting particular things and they weren't sort of fighting over cards. And so we needed some kind of glue to tie things together. So I made a card called Misform Ultimus many, many years ago. And so I took that idea and we turned it into a mechanic called Changeling. And then we made these cute little green jello mold creatures. And so anyway, we can't come back to Lorwyn without coming back to Changeling. Like I said, creature type matters is going to be a big important thing. Well, if creature type's going to matter, we need some Changeling. So obviously, we're back and we have Changelings. Yeah. And this card also makes reference to another very famous Lorwyn card, Mutavault.
Yep.
So, by the way, the cards aren't all mechanical throwbacks.
They're not. We picked them out. It feels good. It feels nostalgic. It feels like I'm 13 years old again. Yeah. That doesn't date me at all. Let's take a look at our next throwback, which we had a figure of Destiny back then. Now a figure of Fable.
Okay, so the original figure of Destiny, there's a man named Brian Tinsman, a good friend of mine who was a designer for Magic. He really loved exploring the idea of creatures changing over time. He made the level up mechanic, by the way. And so he made a card, and the idea was, you can pay different activations, and it slowly changes and gets creature types and slowly evolves, and like it goes on its own little mystery adventure and becomes something. And we've used that, but there's a lot of other cards we've made over the time. It's a very popular card, so we couldn't come back and do a riff on it. So we get Figure of Fable.
Love it. So cool. I think we've got, let's see, another callback. We do love nostalgia. It's true.
It's not all callbacks.
It's not all callbacks, we do promise. But we have mentioned that elementals matter.
Okay, so the original Lorwyn, the lead designer of it, was a man named Aaron Forsyth, who is now my boss. And Aaron loves modal spells. So in the early days, like Mirage introduced charms. So Aaron wanted to take charms to the next level. So he said, what's better than 3? 4. What's better than 1? 2. So obviously it gives you 4 things. You get to choose 2.
That's why he's your boss now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's in command. And he, we introduced it. Lorwyn introduced the commands. So obviously we were back. And so we brought back the commands, or some commands. A couple other things about this card. You'll notice on the creature type line, it says Kindred. So one of the things introduced in Lorwyn was at the time called the tribal card type. Now it's called Kindred. We're not doing a lot of Kindred. It is not something we plan to do a lot of, but you couldn't come back to Lorwyn and not at least have a little bit. So there is some Kindred in this set. And you'll notice that one of the options is cares about elementals. Just to reinforce, typal is the theme of the set. About half the set, about half the draft archetypes have a typal component. They're the Shadowmoor half, and then half have other components because they're I'm sorry, those are the Lorwyn half and then the Shadowmoor half. There's a lot going on in this card.
Yeah.
I think I want to take a look at some booster fun treatments.
I think so too. What do we have first?
Oh, yeah. I love this. So this is called the Fable frame. And I love how kind of creepy and dark it is a little bit. I think we've got another card in the same frame that we want to show you too. So stinking cute. The sides kind of look like almost like bedding, like you would find in Lorwyn. And maybe you fall down and go to sleep and maybe you wake up, maybe you don't. Who knows?
Go to sleep in Lorwyn, that's my advice.
Yeah.
And of course, one of the really cool things about bringing a set like this back is our art, and the way that we do all of this has really expanded and grown. And so we get to see just this artwork bring to life this plane in a whole new way. I love it.
Yeah. And speaking of booster fun, we have another really cool addition to this set that plays up light and dark. You've seen the art earlier. So these are double-sided. They're not double-faced. You can play either side. It's the same card, but you can pick if you want to represent Lorwyn, Shadowmoor. Very cool. Yeah, take your pictures, post it on social media. These are...
And they're normal versions.
Yes, there are normal versions of these as well, but these are, extremely cool. All right, and then, Mark.
Yes.
We're going to bring you back on later.
Okay.
Thank you
So
so
say bye to
much.
Mark. We'll see you later. And then, Hillary, I'm wondering if you can tell us about the product lineup for Lorwyn.
Yeah, I think so. We've got our normal suite of products with Lorwyn. Honestly, we had so much incredible artwork to show you that we decided to do 3 different versions of the Play Booster packaging art just to show off as much as humanly possible. Yeah. You'll also probably notice there's a new product on this slide. We are very excited to be introducing Draft Night with Lorwyn Eclipsed. So drafting has honestly, it's always been one of the purest ways to experience Magic, I feel like. It's that perfect mix of skill, creativity, chance. But we know that sometimes getting 8 people together can be a little arduous. So this is where Draft Night comes in. It's the quickest and easiest way to play a draft. Everything you need for a 4-player pick 2 draft. So picking 2 cards at a time keeps the pace up, makes it way easier, especially if you're playing with somebody who's a little newer, or if you're like me, I have choice paralysis. I want to pick 2 cards anyway. And this simple, fast drafting just makes it really easy. We all know you've got 4-player commander pods. So, one friend brings the pizza, one grabs drinks, one hosts. Even if you're not drafting that night, it's honestly like the best way to experience the set because you're going to be getting play boosters, a collector booster, and a whole brick of lands, all for less than $100. Now, don't worry. Lorwyn Eclipsed is designed for that classic 8-player draft experience, but we've also curated it for a 4-player draft experience. So you can expect to see this coming with every Magic release moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Exciting, really cool new product. Now, your eyes probably zoomed to that bottom center spot where there are 2 commander decks for this set. We've got Lorwyn, we've got Shadowmoor. It just fit. So we've got a Lorwyn-focused one called Dance of the Elements. It is an elemental-focused deck that is all 5 colors. Does it have Muldrifter in it? Maybe. You'll have to wait and see. And then on the right next to it, we've got Blight Curse, our Shadowmoor deck that has a unique theme that I don't think we've ever done before that is focused on -1/-1 counters. Putting them on, taking them off, doing all sorts of things mean to your opponents and your own creatures sometimes.
Absolutely. You'll also notice the beautiful collector booster packaging, I'm sure. If you're like me, you're a magpie just looking for like her shiny objects, this is going to be what you want for all those foils, those beautiful cards, and that chance at that Rebecca Gay headliner card.
Yeah. Now, before we leave Lorwyn, I want to know how many in the audience are D&D fans as well? There you go. Sizable overlap. That's why we did this. So next up, we have Lorwyn First Light. So soon, fans will be able to weave Lorwyn into their Dungeons & Dragons adventures. So Lorwyn First Light, you see some art here, is going to be a digital expansion. It's going to be available on D&D Beyond. It's going to contain a new adventure. It's going to contain Lorwyn and Shadowmoor specific magic items and monsters. It has a brand new Rhymekin species and more. So you'll be able to run your own campaign on Lorwyn and Shadowmoor. Lorwyn First Light arrives on D&D Beyond on November 25th of this year. Yep. And we're sticking with the Lorwyn time frame for our next item. It's not Lorwyn flavored, but it's going to release alongside Lorwyn. We have a new product called Theme Decks. So these are 60-card theme decks, pre-constructed, ready to play right out of the box. These are fast and fun and playable, and they're meant to introduce players to the world of 60-card constructed. They'll be standard legal. We are going to do these releases along Magic Multiverse sets, so expect more of these throughout the year. Our first 2, as you can see, Pirates and Angels. Pretty cool, resonant themes. The decks are meant to play well against each other and decks we release later in this series. They even come with info on tips on how to upgrade them as you kind of go along your player journey. These are new. They're going to have an MSRP of $23.99 and be available at your local game store. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, you did mention that we're not going to give everything away in this panel.
Not quite.
Yeah. So, in March of 2026, there is an unannounced Universes Beyond set. You'll want to keep an eye open at New York Comic-Con on October 10th for that announcement.
Yep.
I will be there announcing that. So follow me there.
More on that soon. And you know what? That's the last one we're going to do that about. The rest of the year, we're going to tell you everything we can. So let's move on to our next set on the calendar. We're going to keep going chronologically. Let's move on to learn some of the secrets of Strixhaven, releasing in April. For that, Roy, come on back up.
I'm back. They couldn't keep me out.
Welcome back. All right.
I heard some excited shouts for Strixhaven.
Honestly, yeah. All right. So what secrets can you tell us about Strixhaven?
Oh, man, what can't I tell you about Strixhaven? Strixhaven is obviously a fan favorite plane. Listen to him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also a Roy favorite plane. I love Strixhaven. I was so excited when I found out that we got to return. And I'm really excited about the creative theme that we've brought to this set. Something that we talked a lot about in early world building and in crafting the story was this idea of like the step right after college, where you're not quite like a full adult, but you're not a student anymore either, and you have to navigate and figure out that in-between space. So for Secrets of Strixhaven, we are taking a step outside of the campus of Strixhaven itself and seeing a bit of the wider world of Arcavios. And our characters that you may have come to love from last time, characters like Killian and Dina and Rutha, they're all trying to navigate that step, that moment where they're leaving the halls of Strixhaven and trying to figure out what to do with themselves now, how to use the skills that they've been developing, the magical ability they've been practicing. But obviously, this is Magic the Gathering, so those skills aren't like comport yourself in an office environment. They're maybe like broker a magically binding peace treaty with the precise word magic of Silver Quill, for instance. So the characters that you met last time, they will be returning, and we have some new characters also just arriving in their college of choice, just deciding what disciplines they want to study magically. Obviously, this is still a Strixhaven set, even though we are going a little outside of the college this time. I can't tell you a ton about these characters yet, but you're going to love them, and you might see them a little sooner than you expect.
Hint, hint. We'll get to that. Roy, I also hear that there's a novel set in Strixhaven.
Yeah, that is correct. I am so excited to announce the first Magic the Gathering novel in... It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. Omens of Chaos is a YA novel set in Strixhaven by frequent Magic author Seanan McGuire about Strixhaven's first ever class of interplanar students who have arrived at the university by Omen Path. Will they fit in? Will they pass their classes? Will they survive? You'll have to find out on February 17th, right around the corner.
Yeah.
And I should say also that, like the Untold Stories comic series that we're doing with Dark Horse, this novel is completely within canon. And it's a really great place to start, both if you are a longtime Magic fan, if you've been reading story for a long time, and if you're maybe less than totally bought into all the story, this is a really good place to start.
And this is going to be in addition to the normal web fiction that we do as well, right?
Yes, that's right. We will, of course, have a full suite of web fiction stories for Secrets of Strixhaven. This is just coming out cherry on top.
Yeah, a little bonus.
I mean, speaking of cherries on top, if you weren't excited for the book enough, we are releasing a promo card with it as well.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who doesn't need a command tower?
I love seeing new artwork in an old frame. So good. Thank you so much, Roy.
Thanks, Roy. We're gonna send you off again.
Yep.
And because we've got... Bye, Roy. Because we're going to keep moving through the year, Hillary.
Absolutely. We're going deeper into 2026. We are going to be announcing the next Marvel set. In June 2026, we are announcing Marvel Superheroes.
And of course, we need to bring Mark Rosewater back on.
Yeah.
Talk to us about this monumental set.
Okay, so many years ago, when Aaron Forsyth first pitched the idea of doing Universes Beyond, he called into his office. He had made a little slideshow he was going to show off, and I was one of the first people he showed it to. And he said to me, "What do you think?" And the literal first words out of my mouth was dibs on Marvel. So finally, my dibs come true. So I led this set. I hand off to Dave Humphreys. He and I have worked together on such sets as Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, War of the Spark, March of the Machine. So we were really, really excited. So one of the things is we realized that we probably couldn't just base every single set on one character. That just isn't something we could do for, that would take forever. There's so many characters in Marvel. So we wanted to do a lot of characters. So do you see everybody on the screen right now? All of them are in the set. So, and I want to remind everybody, if you look at Miss Marvel and her giant fist, it's a little sign that we are doing the comic book versions of these characters. And so her powers, for example, are slightly different on the TV show and the movies than they are in the comics. We are representing the comic version. But we are well aware of the popularity of the movies and the TV shows and stuff, and we very much, in choosing characters and picking what we're doing, even though we're always staying true to the comics, we are aware of characters that are beloved because they show up in other medium, and we're very conscious of that. So do you want to talk a little bit about who is in this set?
Yeah.
Okay, well, first and foremost, there's this little team of superheroes that you might have never heard of, but I'm a big fan as a real hardcore Marvel fan. They're called the Avengers. So yes, we get Captain America.
Oh, yeah.
We get Iron Man. Black Panther.
Yeah.
And I do want to say, we're doing the full, there's lots and lots of Avengers. All the Avengers you know, obviously, from the movies and such, but also from the comics. There are a lot of people that have been the Avengers over the years. We hit a lot of those in the sets. And not just the heroes, we also have the super villains, such as Killmonger.
Yeah.
And when I say we have super villains, we got a whole bunch of super villains.
That's...
Now, while the set does have the Avengers, and that's a big part of the set, it's not just the Avengers. Some other people we'll be celebrating in the set. The Fantastic Four. Shield.
Yeah.
The street-level heroes.
Yeah.
Like Heroes for Hire, Daredevil, and such.
This is one of my favorite pieces of art in this entire
so
set.
That's a
So
great
good.
piece of art.
Yeah.
And we're just doing a wide variety of just beloved characters that are all sort of Avenger adjacent, we'll call them. But one last story I wanted to tell. So when we first pitched to Marvel, Aaron came to me and said, I need you to make, I think I made 6 or 7 different cards to just a proof of concept. And he said, most of the cards are what you expect, Captain America, stuff like that, but I want one deep cut. And I knew the deep cut that I had to make. I am obviously a giant fan of Marvel. I'm also a giant fan of Magic. And I knew there was a character that would be loved by both Marvel fans and Magic fans. And this character is not quite as deep cut as when I made this card 4 or 5 years ago. But coming in this set is Squirrel Girl! Doreen Green, I think, is a great example of if you are a Marvel fan, of course you love Squirrel Girl, because she is amazing. But even if Marvel is maybe not your top thing, Marvel does such a great job of letting us make really fun, interesting, cool cards. And if you have a Squirrel deck, I guarantee you're going to want to include Squirrel Girl. She is, I made her, in that the very card I made ended up in the set. I think it was like 1 or 2 in the rare poll. So anyway, if you love Squirrel Girl, we got a card coming for you.
Amazing.
Let's hear it from Marvel superheroes again.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, now, if you're terminally online like me, you might have noticed earlier this week on our social media, we celebrated a very special birthday on Monday.
It's true.
Hillary, what was that birthday?
I think it was a certain Hobbit's birthday.
So, yeah.
That's right, y'all. We are going back to Middle Earth. Magic the Gathering: The Hobbit is coming August 2026. You're going to get to journey with Bilbo, Thorin, Gandalf, all your favorite characters on their journey to the Lonely Mountain. You're welcome. So treasures, dragon hordes, new and old await. We're not going to show you a whole lot for this set. We're going to show that in time. For now, we're going to keep our secrets safe. They are precious to us.
All right, continuing through the year, and to talk about our October release. Now, this is an absolutely massive event set for the Magic multiverse. Mark's already here, so we're going to keep you on, and then we're going to bring back on Roy. It's Roy again, everybody.
One more time. One more time.
So, Roy, talk to us about this magic story.
Well, I'm so glad that you guys brought me out here to talk about Lorwyn and Strixhaven and all of that, not just because those sets are awesome and they're going to be so beloved by everyone in this room, but because they are steps leading up to this huge event set, which is itself the finale of a story we've been building for literally years. We've been calling it the Metronome Arc. Some of you, the most passionate among you might have heard that before, but we have been leading up to something really special. To catch up the people who have missed an episode or two of the story, I'd love to just summarize where we started all the way back in Outlaws of Thunder Junction.
Previously in Magic the Gathering.
We saw Jace having been traumatized by all of the suffering of the Phyrexian invasion. Jace set about doing a couple nefarious deeds to right what he saw had gone wrong with the multiverse. How exactly he planned to do that was not entirely clear, but his mysterious plans started with freeing a small fuzzy creature with a map of the entire multiverse in his head from an ancient vault. That little guy, you might recognize him. It goes by the name of Loot. And bringing this little dude all the way to Tarkir, where he located the meditation realm, to arrange a massive magical ritual. A ritual that went terribly wrong. The magic seemed to break Jace into pieces, consuming him and the meditation realm itself. So, where does that leave us? I'll tell you.
No, you won't.
Lorwyn Eclipsed.
Nope.
Into Secrets of Strixhaven. Into...
No.
Yep. We're going to go to Mark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roy's gonna hold for a moment.
Okay, so a couple years ago on Magic's 30th anniversary at Gen Con, we talked about the upcoming sets. And the last set I talked about was codename Ziplining.
You can
Some
say
of you
that.
might remember this.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I wasn't allowed to say anything because it was so far in the future, and it was the big capstone event set, like War of the Spark, like March of the Machine. We were doing one of those. But now that we're actually, it's coming closer now.
It's next year.
So I think it'd be really cool because this set has a really, really neat villain. I think it'd be really cool to tell you all who
Nope.
the villain is.
No, you can't tell them that.
Not yet.
No.
Okay. It takes place in a place, like a really, really interesting place. So I can tell them where it takes place?
You can't tell them where
Come
it
on.
takes place. No.
Oh, okay. It's a theme the players have been asking for for a long time. Can I tell them the theme?
Nope, not that either.
Nope.
Okay, hold on. Okay. So before we do exploratory design, we do these things called seeds meetings, where we get together and we talk through what we think the set's going to be about. In this meeting, we pitch this idea, this really cool idea the players have been asking for, and Aaron Forsyth, my boss, he comes up a lot today, Aaron said to me, he goes, I think that's a really cool idea. I agree the players would probably like that. I don't think we can do it. I don't think we can convey that theme in a single booster. So I took that as a challenge, and I said, okay, so in Exploratory, we're like, how do we do this? And it was a really big challenge, and we came up with a really revolutionary idea that, in fact, was so revolutionary
that he cannot tell you.
I won't tell you what it is. I won't tell you what it is, but they didn't know we could do it. We even know we could physically do it. And so we worked really hard. We worked through vision. We handed off the set design, and I was nervous the whole time. We built the entire set around this innovation. I was worried that it would get cut in set design, but it didn't. And so this set has a really innovative thing, something you will see that I can't tell you about, but it'll be obvious when you open the pack. Something we've never done before, and it is. I led 2 sets this year. I led the Marvel set that I'm very excited by, and I led ziplining. And I've not been this excited for an in-multiverse Magic set in a long time. We are doing things I can't possibly talk about. But can I tell them anything?
You can tell them the name.
Okay, the name.
The actual name.
The actual name of the set.
You guys want to hear the name of the set?
Okay, guys. Later next year, you'll be able to experience Reality Fracture.
Which we cannot tell you what that means.
Correct.
It's really cool.
It's so cool. And we can't tell you about it. In fact, just so we don't accidentally spill anything, Roy and Mark are going to exit stage right one more time.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. I was really worried they were going to spoil it.
Yep.
Yeah.
We rehearsed that a few times, and I still thought we were going to go over the edge. Okay.
Yep.
Now, if you were looking at the graphic, you might have noticed there's still some space on the end there. So we do have one more release in 2026 to talk about. Yes, that does mean there are 7 sets in 2026. This is a bit of a scheduling quirk. 2027, looking even further into the future, we're going to be on the 6 set, 3 Magic Multiverse, and 3 Universe Beyond sets.
Yep, but we're going to be talking about the last release in 2026 first, so let's bring out Gavin Verhey and play the video.
Magic the Gathering and Star Trek, a partnership years in the making, coming to you pretty soon. Exciting, right? Next year is Star Trek's 60th anniversary. You know, for years, we've journeyed throughout space with Star Trek since it launched all the way back in 1966. Whether you started with the original series, all the way up to where we are now with Strange New Worlds and beyond, it's inspired a bold legacy of exploration, creativity, and tough dilemmas. You know, for me, I grew up watching Star Trek, probably like many of you. My father, Steve, and my mom, Teresa, sat me down, and we watched these together, and it meant so much to me watching this show, and it really changed my life in so many ways. I made friends through it, I connected with my family through it, and it inspired me to do what I'm doing today, making Magic cards. So Star Trek really means a lot to me. We're coming to you with a full set of Star Trek, inspired by the whole franchise. So whether you love the original series, you started with the Next Generation, or all the way up through the most recent stuff with Strange New Worlds and beyond, we have things for you. Let's talk about some of the art we just saw and linger on it a little bit more. So right here we have, of course, where it all began, the Starship Enterprise. Absolutely stunning, cresting through space. She is beautiful, and you'll find her and plenty of other starships in this set. And of course, Star Trek would be nothing without heroes, villains, characters who are morally gray. But when it comes to heroes, I think of no one else than the one, the only, Captain Kirk, who, of course, you'll find in this set. And you can see a bit of the bridge crew there hanging out with him, which is absolutely fantastic. Are there any Klingon fans out there? Well, of course, some antagonists for you. We've got Chancellor Gowron right here, ready to leap on into battle. But you never know what you're going to find out in space, and to me that is the beauty of Star Trek. It might be something stunning or dangerous, and quite often both. Like you see here on the crystalline entity, an absolutely stunning piece of artwork that is so gorgeous, but you really don't want to get too close to it either. This set will be coming to you in November of 2025. We've been working on it for a while.
2026.
Oh, sorry, 2026.
Surprise!
Wow. All right, fair. Coming to you in November of 2026. And we are so stoked to bring it with you. We've been working on this thing for years. I got to be the lead designer of it, and it means a lot to me. And the whole team behind it really cares a lot about this set and about Star Trek. So you'll be hearing a lot more over the next year, and a little bit, actually more than a year, as we talk about what's to come with this set. But we can't wait to show it to you. You know, whether you are a fan who loves Star Trek already and cannot wait to see what favorite characters and moments are represented in this set, well, you can start speculating for the next year. And if you're new to Star Trek, well, get to watching. There's a lot of incredible stuff to uncover in that show. So it's time to boldly go where no one has gone before. And I'm going to sit back, relax, and only say one more thing. Engage, warp speed.
And that, everyone, is the last set of 2026. Let's hear it. Who's excited for 2026? Look at that lineup. All right, now, I'm sure you're now all thinking, Blake, Hillary, Gavin, where am I going to play all of these awesome Magic cards? Our next video will give you a few options. Let's roll the next video.
This year, open tournaments return, reborn in the Magic Spotlight Series. First-time players tested their
All right,
skills,
you guys can go crush it
and
now.
familiar faces from the past were back in action. The result has been a celebration of competition and community. We've visited the likes of Atlanta for Magic Spotlight Foundations, Utrecht for Magic Spotlight Modern, and Chiba for Magic Spotlight Final Fantasy, with each event being special in its own way. At MagicCon Las Vegas, we said that the Magic Spotlight Series would be bigger and better than ever in 2026. Today, we're able to share our full schedule for next year, with a few secrets still left to be revealed. In the first quarter of the year, our journey begins in Atlanta, Georgia, and Lyon, France this January, kicking things off in style with Magic Spotlight, the Avatar. Next stop, we head north to Toronto, Canada in February, returning to one of our favorite planes with Lorwyn Eclipsed. In the second quarter of the year, we move over to Richmond, Virginia in March for a Spotlight theme that's still under wraps right now, before we head across the Atlantic and beyond to London, England and Chiba, Japan in May for our Secrets of Strixhaven Spotlight. As summer heats up, so does the adventure, with a super team-up for the ages, with Marvel superheroes in Las Vegas, Nevada in June, then over to Brussels, Belgium in July. The journey continues down under in Brisbane, Australia in August, followed by a long hop over to Dallas, Texas in September for Magic Spotlight, The Hobbit. And to wrap up an incredible year, we'll be in Hartford, Connecticut in October and Beijing, China in November with Reality Fracture. Join us at a Magic Spotlight event near you. Play for fun, play to win, and be part of the gathering.
Woo! Woo! And I hope you didn't miss that. That first Spotlight series is right here in Atlanta. All right, now, we talked a lot about 2026.
We did.
But we aren't quite done with 2025 yet, because Final Fantasy was a set that delighted so many of you. And so we had to celebrate that a little bit. To help us do that, let's bring out Dylan Devaney and Daniel Holt. Come on out, guys.
Hey, guys.
Welcome.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
All right, so what are you guys here to talk to us about?
Well, first and foremost, we are here to celebrate the success that was
Final Fantasy.
Woo!
You know, for us, this was an extreme labor of love, and it ended up turning into the fastest selling and best selling Magic set of all time.
Yeah, we printed more of it than any other set ever, and we're trying to get more reprints to you right now.
But most importantly for us, you all really enjoyed it. The cards, the characters, the gameplay.
The limited environment, the commander decks, and it was a real labor of love for all of us. So
from everyone who worked on Magic the Gathering, Final Fantasy, we just wanted to say
thank you.
So y'all, I hear a rumor that there's something about a holiday release.
Yeah, so you're pretty well informed. We are here to talk about probably one of my favorite aspects of Final Fantasy is that it's never really the Final Fantasy, right? So, of course, here we are today to bring you more Final Fantasy. All right, so we're going to talk about a couple of things. I want to talk about some promos, some scene boxes, some bundles, and more.
Yeah, and everything we show you is going to release on December 5th. And to answer your question, Hillary, we're kind of calling it the Final Fantasy holiday release, even though it's a bunch of different things all wrapped into one.
Yeah, so we're going to start us off with the holiday promo. Let's see that.
Yeah, my personal favorite game, Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
This was originally made for the pre-con itself, but Yuna Grand Summoner in her iconic wedding dress of Bevelle with beautiful art by Miki Yamashita. You can also get this promo by playing in a Commander Box League to celebrate Final Fantasy returning to the Magic scene. These events will run from December 5th to December 11th. You can check Daily MTG for more details or your local game store.
Yep, there's going to be more details on that later.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for more details on how exactly to get this promo, and you'll be able to check with your local game store as well. The next thing I want to talk about is pretty cool. So we're bringing back scene boxes.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and see our very first scene box, starting with Final Fantasy I.
Yeah, each of these scene boxes, there are 4 of them, are 3x2 with 6 unique cards and 6 art cards to go with those, and 3 booster packs, all for $41.99. So yeah, Final Fantasy I?
Yes, we're going to see 4 of them today, and we're going to start with Final Fantasy I. So here we can see the iconic first boss battle of the Final Fantasy franchise, the Warriors of Light versus Garland in the depths of the Chaos Shrine.
Yeah, and in that fight, Garland's after the throne, so his card mechanically uses the Monarch and will capture creatures momentarily. And when you think about Final Fantasy I, you actually have a full party of characters that kind of work with the party mechanic in Magic. So I tied that in with the 4 characters there, and if you play the Destined Warrior as your commander, you can put all 4 in the same deck.
We want to talk about the next game that we're doing, because we're going to hop all the way from Final Fantasy I to Final Fantasy VIII. There they are. I knew I had 8 fans in the house. I knew you guys were here. So in Final Fantasy VIII, we have decided to recreate the very legendary, iconic intro cutscene of Final Fantasy VIII, where we see Squall versus Cypher. And we have all the prophetic flashing images of Edea and Renoa amidst this amazing duel, hinting at all the story beats to come. And you know that we can all already hear Labari Fatali blasting in the background, the chorus amping up as this duel reaches its climax.
Yeah, so something I wanted to do with scene boxes was kind of like show another spotlight on those characters that didn't get a chance in the main set. So up at the top, you see a new Edea and Renoa, who you just cannot picture this scene without. Naturally, you have a new Squall and, I'm spacing on his name?
Cypher.
Cypher.
Yes.
Cypher. Couldn't decipher it, actually.
No, that's right.
Cypher at the bottom in their fight. And you get some pretty iconic spells there in the middle, I think, are a little powerful.
All right, moving directly from Final Fantasy VIII, we will move to Final Fantasy IX. I know Gavin's really happy that all the 9 fans came out for this as well. So just a note about Final Fantasy IX, we're only just going to show you the art today.
Right.
I know.
So we're not going to show the cards today, but you might spot a little character at the bottom who did not get a card in the main set. Amarant Coral is coming with his first legendary creature card here.
We are depicting the Siege of Alexandria in a way that we haven't seen it before. So
Zidane and the party are delving through the chaos, trying to find Dagger and Aiko, while we have Bahamut and Alexander battling in the skyline in probably the most epic cutscene any one of our PS1s could handle before Friday.
So I think we got one more to talk about?
Yes, and our final scene that we are going to show you today is Final Fantasy 15. Oh, that makes you so happy. So we've seen a lot of like epic boss battles and amazing action, but one of the things I love about 15 is that Noctis and the boys are here to remind us to kick back, relax, and enjoy some times with all our friends.
And that's what I wanted to do with the cards as well, so it focuses on, go fishing, take some photos, eat some food, train with Gladius. But I did make a new Noctis card because I wanted to play up his Warp Strike ability, which I really found fun playing in Final Fantasy 15.
And that's what we have for the scene boxes today. I hope you're all looking forward to him.
Yeah. Now, our next item is super cool. Like, when you think of two of the most popular things about this set, there's Final Fantasy VII, there's Commander decks. So why not make a special Final Fantasy VII Commander deck?
Okay, I am beyond ridiculously excited about this, and I'm going to yap for a minute. So for all the Final Fantasy VII fans out there, we are reprinting the Final Fantasy VII Commander deck, but it's going to come bundled with a digital redemption code for the original Final Fantasy VII. Cool, right? So it's going to be the PC version, and you can redeem it on SquareEnix.com. And also, this is why I'm like vibrating in my chair, it's going to come with a promo of Cloud Midgar Mercenary from the main set with art from the original game. Look how cool this is. It's so sick, right? Okay, I'm validated. I'm so validated.
It's really cool. Players can find this in US stores on December 5th, as mentioned, as the limited edition Commander bundle for $99.99 while supplies last.
And it is limited edition.
Right.
Yeah, emphasis on that. Yep.
Yeah. Now, you guys mentioned something about a bundle?
Yeah, there's the Chocobo bundle. Yes! This fun bundle includes 10 play boosters. We got Chocobo fans out here. But so much more, all themed around Chocobos and the good vibes they bring, including a little Chocobo spin wheel there.
In every bundle, you're going to find a couple of things that we wanted to talk about. So there is going to be something called the Limited Chocobo Track Foil Treatment, which we're going to show you. It's going to be on 10 lands, and it's also going to appear on 2 legendary creatures from a select pool of cards. And you're also going to get one of the scene cards we just showed you in non-foil as well. The MSRP for the bundle is going for $109.99.
Yep. Square Enix is going to show off some of these promos, but we have a few to whet your appetite today.
Yes, so the first thing we want to show you that's going to come with the bundle is the Paradise Chocobo. So now, normally, only a very rare and special species of Chocobo can fly, and that is what we were showing you here from Final Fantasy XIV. Flying through the Cloud Sea is our Birds of Paradise reprint, or better known as the Paradise Chocobo.
Yep. There's also 5 full art basic lands featuring Chocobos in that Eclipse treatment Dylan was talking about. Each bundle contains 40 lands. That's 15 regular, 15 foil, and 10 of these Chocobo.
And you're going to see those Chocobo tracks going from the Chocobo Sanctuary, flying over to the Round Island, trudging through the Vesper Pool, exploring all over Gustaberg, and taking a rest finally in the Black Mage Village.
So for the rest of these promos, a lot of them come from main set, but even more from the Commander decks, showing up in an amazing borderless treatment. So let's start by looking at Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah, so if we're going to be talking about Chocobos, also we have to talk about Moogles, obviously. So we've got our boy Locke here hanging out with all of his Moogle buddies in the mines, and we've got Mog dancing it up with his best friend / underling, Umaro.
And then for Final Fantasy VII, we have members of the Midgar slums, relaxed and hopeful as they take a little break from battle.
Makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Moving right along to Final Fantasy IX, we're going to share stories of adventure with Stiltskin, and we're all going to sneak into a showing of I Want to Be Your Canary with Vivi and Puck.
All right, so more Final Fantasy X? Yes, please. The first 3 Guardians of Yuna here only got cards in the Commander deck, so this is their only booster fund treatment showing up here in this bundle, as well as the leading lady herself getting another treatment there.
And finally, what we're going to show you, this is all to the Final Fantasy XIV players out there. We've got to Taru Taru in her fashionista Stormblood era. We have everyone's favorite Dragoon in his late night, date night, and walker garb. And your eyes do not deceive you, that is a reprint of Snapcaster Mage, who is going to be a scholar studying the ancient lore of the lost civilization Nim alongside her Chocobo companion and her fairy Eos.
And I don't want to start a stampede or anything, but pre-orders for all of this start today. Today, yay! So, check online for pre-orders for everything we just talked about. So amazing. Final Fantasy's been just a fantastic set. Thank you, you two, for telling us all about the holiday release. And thank you all for coming to this panel and for being amazing and for showing up to MagicCon. Stay tuned. After this, we have the Secret Lair Reveal Party panel. You're not going to want to miss that if you like new things. And then, of course, the main event. Game Nights Live follows that panel later this evening right here on the Mana stage. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, panelists.
Thanks, y'all.
We'll see you later.
Thanks, everyone.